Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Clayton County Board of Education public hearing for the fiscal year 2022 millage rate. This meeting is one of the 3 legal meetings that we must have regarding the millage rates for the fiscal year of 2022. This is a hearing to get your input on the millage rate. And I'm going to reiterate that again. This is a hearing to get your input on the millage rate. This is not a meeting to answer questions, nor your wanting to voice concerns about anything other than the millage rate. At this time, I am going to call the meeting to order. I'm going to call the roll, and I want everyone to know that we do not need to have a quorum for this meeting. I'm going to start with District 1, Jasmine Bowles. Thank you. District 2, Mark
Present.
Christmas. District 3, Jesse Goree, that would be me, present. District 4, Victoria
Present.
Williams. District 5, Dr. D.
Present.
Haney. District 6, Mary
Present.
Baker. District 7, Sabrina Hill. District 8 is vacant. District 9, Benjamin Straker. Superintendent, Dr. Beasley.
Present.
Attorney, Jordan.
Present.
Look at Jordan. I'm having Jordan
Yes, ma'am.
Daly. Okay, look, I'm having a moment. I'm forgetting last
Okay.
names. Board Coordinator, Dr. Shantara Rump Carter.
Present.
Don Blau, the Assistant to the Superintendent and Board of Education.
Present.
Okay, and the person who will be presenting this evening is our CFO, Ms. Emma Benton.
Good afternoon, everyone. So very briefly, I have a presentation that I would like to share. So the board approved our FY 2021 budget, 2021-2022 budget in June of this year. And so the consolidated budget is $767.7 million. The district's largest fund, which is the general fund, which is about 65% of the total consolidated budget, that's mainly our maintenance and our operations expenditures. The board has tentatively approved a millage rate of 20 mills for Clayton County this year, and this is the same millage rate we've had in previous years. The tentative increase will result in about a 9.45% increase in taxes. This is related to property tax values that are increasing across the nation. And so this particular slide, we can see that the millage rate in our metropolitan district, where they land. And so I wanted to share this information again. So this is the metropolitan district, and it's a comparison. And I specifically wanted to highlight this particular slide because if we would notice the local revenue that's collected in each of the metropolitan districts, most of this is from property tax directly tied to our millage rate. And you can kind of see some of the revenue amounts that's collected in the metropolitan area. These are our budget numbers for this year, already approved by the Board of Education. But as an FYI, as we look at how the district spends its resources, we receive about 30% of our resources locally from the general fund. So that's basically from property taxes. And you can see that we spend about 65% of everything we collect on instruction. So at this time, I will turn it over to Ms. Goree.
Thank you, Ms. We have we have set this meeting up, so we've had to resort back to Zoom because of the COVID numbers, and that is the safest way for us to conduct this meeting. I know that I see 24 participants based on what I have here. So in order for participants, anybody that wants to make a comment, this is in the form of a webinar. You should have some options on your phone or device. You can raise your hand to speak. If that is not accessible to you, please put your question in the chat and we will allow you to speak at this meeting. Dr. Rump Carter is monitoring the chat, and I will let her direct us to whomever has their hand raised or whomever has information in our chat. Dr. Rump Carter, do we have any speakers?
As of right now, we do not have any speakers, but as you said, Madam Chair, they can raise their hand or type in the chat and I will enable their microphones.
We're looking for anyone that would like to speak at this meeting to raise your hand or put your question in the chat so that we can enable you to speak. As of this moment, I see that it's 6:07. I'm going to wait until 6:10 to see if we have anyone that's interested in speaking at this hearing.
And Madam Chair, we have Ms. Tiffany Lomax that have raised her hand. And Ms. Lomax, you may speak.
I guess I need some understanding. I seen the county commissioners the first meeting. I watched the Zoom, and I've seen some people ask questions. And most of them, were older people. They don't want their property taxes go up. My understanding is the millage rate is saying that 20, but your property tax is still going to go up most likely because of the fair market value. And some of the people indicated they don't pay school tax at all. Is that, I don't know if that because of their age, if there's a certain exemption, or why is that not taxed to everybody, or why, or I wanted some understanding on that. Nobody can explain this to me.
Ms. Lomax, I believe once you turn 65, you can file for the exemption and you don't pay the school tax.
Oh, so that's the only way to get out of that. You have to be 65.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. I see. Oh.
Madam Chair, we have Ms. I want to say the first name correctly. Tanya Funny.
Tina, I believe. Miss Funny,
Tanya.
Tanya.
Yes, I wanted to know what was the recommended millage rate to collect the same amount that you collected last year? What was the recommended millage rate?
We're not answering questions, we're asking for comments.
So you can't tell me what the recommended millage rate was?
I can tell you that this is a hearing for your commentary.
Yes. And my commentary was wanting to know what was the recommended millage rate. Was it is that not public knowledge? Do I need to file for public records to get that information? You can't just give it to me?
The recommended millage rate for Clayton County Public Schools was 20 mills.
No, not recommended by the Board of Education. What was the recommended millage rate by the tax assessor? So you could collect the same amount, because with the 20 mills that you're collecting due to the increase in property taxes, she just said that you will be collecting 9% more. So I was asking, what was the recommended millage rate by the tax assessor? If you don't have that information, that's fine. I can look it up, but I was just wondering if you knew it.
Well, I don't believe that I'm gonna, as I said, we're not answering questions. We've already discussed all the questions. If you would do me a favor and send an email, I would be happy to have Ms. Benton answer the questions. This is a hearing to get your input. And if you want to change it and say that you don't agree with the recommendation or something to that.
But if I'm trying to get more
fine.
information, I can't agree or disagree.
Well,
if I'm
Ms.
trying
Funny,
to get clarification. The
I
other
got
lady
you.
just asked for clarification and you answered her question.
I sure did.
She asked the question, asked the question too. So I'm asking a question and now you're saying she asked a question about
Age.
who has to pay this tax, and you answered her question. So now you're telling me I'm asking a question and now you're telling me that I can't get my question answered, but you just answered the
Yes,
other lady's
ma'am,
question.
that is what I'm telling you. I've just told you, if you want the answer to that question, because this is a
That is a
hearing.
millage rate question. This is the millage rate hearing.
Please let me step in for a moment. This is Jordan Daly. I'm counsel for the district. Ms. Funny, thank you for your comments. I'm not sure if you're still present with us, but I do want to clarify that this is just for public comment. It's just a hearing.
Yes.
And if a question was answered, I would advise going forward, just commentary. But Ms. Funny, it does sound like an email would be appropriate.
Yes, that's the if you want that information, Ms. Funny, you would need to send an email. I did answer the other question for that lady because she asked about the age, and maybe I shouldn't have given her an age. Maybe I should have said for her to send an email, but that was what she wanted. I don't believe that I'm not sure if the tax commissioner recommends or sets that information for us. That is why I'm asking you to send an email in and we will send you the information. Thank you, Ms. Daly.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we have a hand from Tiffany Lomax.
Yes, Ms. Lomax, I think you just spoke. Yes, Ms. Lomax.
Yeah, so now that I understand, so we're just to make comment. You're not supposed to answer questions, but thank you for answering that question. But if you make a comment, I mean, how much do our comment weigh? I mean, if you, of course, nobody don't want to pay more in property tax. We understand. They got to get the funding from the homeowners of property taxes, but I understand y'all got a lot of money from CARES, but I guess that's to pay for the PPP stuff. I'm not sure exactly how the money is supposed to be used, but how much ways would we say is going to do something? I mean, nobody don't want their property taxes go up, but this is already a set deal. Even though we have these meetings, it's a set deal, right? Is it still going to go up regardless if I say no or not, right?
Ms. Lomax, can you state your, this, as I'm trying to tell you, I answered your first question because it was just a simple one about age and why they're not paying taxes, but this is for commentary. If you want to make a comment that you don't want your taxes to go up, then I need you to make a statement. We're not answering questions. It's just a hearing to get your comments.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I see 616. Do we have any other hands up or any other information in the chat?
Madam Chair, I do not see any other hands raised, nor do I see anything else in the chat.
Okay,
Oh, someone just raised their hand, Madam Chair.
okay.
Darla Sanders.
Go ahead, Ms. Sanders. Can you unmute this? Go ahead, Ms. Sanders.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I actually just came in not really knowing what it's about, but I do have a concern
Okay.
about you guys with these kids still being in school with these high cases. I have
Ms.
two.
Sanders, I'm gonna stop you. This is not a meeting regarding school. This regarding our conditions. This is a hearing for our millage rate. Can you send us an email if you have a concern about being enrolled in school? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in tune to this meeting, I'm not trying to be rude to anyone, but as I stated, this is a hearing to get your comments about the millage rate. It's not for anything else that's going on. It's only for the millage rate. It's not for us to answer questions. This is for us to get your comments regarding the millage rate because we will vote on this next Monday.
Madam Chair, there are no other hands raised at this time.
Okay, at this time, I am going to adjourn the meeting and let everyone know that we will have a meeting on Monday, another hearing on Monday, I should say, at 5:30. Is that correct, Ms. Benton?
That's correct.
Okay, we will have another a hearing at 5:30 on Monday to give comments on the millage rate. We're not answering questions, we are getting comments. If you have some questions that you want to ask, just go ahead and email us those questions now or before Monday so that we can give you the answers. We're looking for your comments. We will vote at our 6 o'clock call meeting. At this time, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your indulgence.